Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Kingsley.
I'm Rachel, and this is Havoc.
And today we're going to talk about all of the reasons dogs pant.
There are a lot of common causes of panting, and a lot of them are benign. Some of those just include being a little excited, and it can just be a natural way for them to keep cool at all times.
Dogs can't sweat quite like we can. They can only really sweat through their paw pads. So instead of sweating under their fur coat, they'll use panting as a way to try and cool off. It's not uncommon if you go and do a couple rounds of fetch for them to pant, but we typically want that panting to resolve once they're inside in a climate-controlled area. They've gotten a drink of water. Usually it'll stop within a few minutes.
Another reason that dogs may pant is due to anxiety, which is one of the pants that we would rather not see. Panting can also be a sign of other underlying disease.
It can. So if your dog is panting, like right now, Havoc is panting, but he's alert, he's not tense, he's still very relaxed, he's just very interested in the environment and what's going on around him. This type of panting I would not be concerned about at all. Now, if Havoc was panting and his tail was between his legs, his ears were back, his muscles were tense, or if he were displaying other signs of stress like pacing or whining in between panting, that might be a sign that he's either overstimulated or stressed out.
And one huge sign to look for if you're wondering, is this panting okay or is it not? Pay close attention to the color of your dog's tongue as well as their gums. If it starts to change or turn slightly purple or blue, that's definitely something to be concerned about. And if not in that moment, definitely as soon as possible, you'll want to talk to your veterinarian and be sure to take note of what was going on, because a lot of times the situation in which the panting is involved can give us a lot of clues on whether or not it is good or bad.
Excessive panting, especially if you have an older dog that's not in particularly great health, and you see other signs like a decreased willingness to exercise. If you're used to taking them on a 1 mile walk and now they can only make it a quarter mile or a half a mile, they're panting excessively and it doesn't resolve once they're in a climate-controlled condition, or if it's happening at inappropriate times like at night when everybody's at rest, that could be a sign of something like heart or lung disease that you would want to get evaluated right away. Another common reason we see dogs pant is related to discomfort. Dogs that are in pain will oftentimes pant. Older dogs that have arthritic conditions, that are having a harder time getting up and down, or they've just had a really strenuous day, will oftentimes pant before they can settle. In younger dogs that are all of a sudden panting more frequently when they're inside and it's climate controlled, sometimes they'll show other signs like trembling or an unwillingness to walk. Sometimes they want to hide. That could be a really clear sign that your pet is uncomfortable in some way. If they're not wanting to eat, if there's other signs like vomiting or diarrhea, I would really recommend getting a veterinary consultation that day if possible.
It can be really hard to track a respiration rate when your dog is panting, but if you can, take account at how many breaths they're taking per minute. This is going to be a big sign of that average, whether or not it is an acceptable amount of panting and breath or if it's excessive.
Right. Other reasons a dog can pant, there's actually some medications that we give that can cause panting. It's very common for us, if we prescribe steroids, to warn pet parents that their pet might pant more frequently than they're used to, even when it's perfectly cool outside. An extension of that is a condition known as Cushing's disease, which is essentially the body making too many steroids within their system and causes them to pant, just like they would if we were giving it to them in a pill form. Oftentimes we'll see other signs like thinning hair coat, muscle wasting, oftentimes lethargy, increase in appetite. Those could all be signs that your dog might have something like Cushing's disease.
And another big concern that is definitely going to need immediate action is something like heat stroke, that is panting excessively. Sometimes they're just laid out flat, really having trouble. And for most of these reasons that might be a concern, speaking to your veterinarian is best. Thankfully, there are a few tips and tricks that you can use at home to make sure that they are cooling down at an appropriate rate.
If you're concerned that your dog might be overheated, we recommend using cool wet towels that you can drape over them. Fans are often really, really helpful, making sure that they get into a climate controlled environment. The last thing we want to do is try and submerge them or put them in any kind of ice bath or extremely cold water, as it can shock their system. I think that about covers it for reasons dogs pant, which can be a way to communicate, it can be a way to cool down. Hopefully you feel a little bit more prepared on how to decipher your dog's panting.
If you have any other questions specifically related to panting, or maybe some instances that we didn't cover, feel free to leave a comment below, like our video, subscribe, and maybe we'll touch on it next time.
Thanks for watching, y'all.